Welcome to the Crypto Project, where we facilitate financial freedom and your overall well-being. I'm Leonard.
And I am Hans.
Welcome to the show today. We've got, look at this crypto bubbles, but what a week. It's so wonderful to have some green candles on my balance sheet once
Yeah,
again.
I see some green there, and there are some big bubbles.
This Axie, holy cow! I wish I owned more. Yay! I wish I owned any Axie at all. I never got on that train. I kept thinking it's going to back off, and it just kept going. And I'm going to say,
I would also settle for some OMG. Once again, I do not have any OMG either, but I will look and cheer on the bag holders of OMG and Axies from afar.
Absolutely, they've got to be super happy. Quantum, Luna.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's incredible is almost all of this growth you're seeing on the weekly is literally from Friday on, from the first. Well, basically, as soon as it flipped from September to October, or we're going to start calling it Uptober. That's the only way we can refer to the month of that was previously known as October.
October is in. I'm totally 100% behind that.
Yeah, it's a movement.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see, and if we want, we can just look just even at the day. We're going to see there's been a little bit of retracement just in the last couple hours, but it's still, it's beautiful. I think this is the day.
Yeah. The bubbles aren't showing the day, but when you filter it by that, but yeah, it's typically, I think Monday is a little bit of a down day for the week. So I'm not surprised to see things cooling off, especially after like a 2.5 day bender. Essentially, these projects went on. So give them a little bit of time to cool off, but it's a great start to the month.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember we had a contest. We're going to look at that later, but very important first kind of run at things, kind of to set the tone for the coming days, weeks, and months.
I mean, we could also call it a trial run. Not that important. It's more how you finish, not how you start, I guess, is what some might say. But
we'll see. So let's jump into just. Why don't you go ahead and let's just look at kind of the total market cap.
Yeah, these are total market caps. I mean, really the big thing to me, we kind of just hit on it. The spike since October started. So you can kind of see where we are right now, about 2.1, 2.2 trillion market cap. But that big just rocket of a movement upwards right there, that's since Friday.
Right.
So October, it's a movement. We're here for it. Let's keep it rolling. Hopefully we have only good things to come. You're going to see a very similar chart here. This is excluding Bitcoin. Same exact chart, essentially.
Exactly.
It's all moving. So only good things.
Yep. And then here's some of the dominance. We got Bitcoin dominance at 42.3, Ethereum 18. Bitcoin's kind of low. It's as low as it's been in since the big dump back here in May.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just I don't see Bitcoin dominance really climbing a whole lot. I mean, it's probably going to swing up a little bit, but in this run, I think we're in bull season is here, and I don't really see it going much higher than like mid 40s. I think these alts are going to continue to pump and take some of those dollars.
Amen. Let's jump in with just some of the news from the week.
Yeah. So for those of you guys who aren't on Twitter and getting involved in crypto Twitter, you're missing out. The memes are incredible. The memes are just A+, but PlanB here is on fire. So if you're not following PlanB or 100 trillion USD, I highly recommend you do. He's called basically the closing value of Bitcoin the last 2 months. So for August, he kind of had projected 47K. It almost hit it exactly on the nose. I think he's $25 off. September, he projected 43K and ended up being 43.8. It's still incredible. And so he kind of just recently tweeted out that he sees that the second leg of this bull market is just starting, and we have like 6 more months to go, which is
that's
awesome
incredible
news. Yeah. So he
yeah
also
we have some YouTubers out there saying that it's going to end in September, and here we are in October, and it seems like we're still going.
we're just starting. I feel like we kind of hit that point where we really tested what are we doing as a market. Are we going to go back down? Was this kind of like a dead cat bounce? And it seems like the markets said, nope, we're getting ready. We're just getting started.
We're just kind of stretching our legs. We took a little break, but now we're gonna rock it.
Yeah. So not in this tweet, but PlanB also, he kind of threw out some targets for the coming months. So he kind of threw out October, the close would be 63K Bitcoin, November 98K, and then December 135K. So those would be incredible. I would
Those
be
are good
super
numbers.
excited. How do you feel about those? Do you think those are realistic? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I've been looking at like around 100 by end of year, so I have to adjust a little bit, but again, that was in the middle of things kind of being suppressed. So I would love to I love to be optimistic, but at this moment, I can't really call much more than 100. But Plan B has been dead on, so I'm excited to kind of look at the coming weeks and just really see what Uptober looks like.
Yeah, I'm with you. I kind of had always pegged 100K by the end of the year as being where I could kind of see it. I just think there's going to be total euphoria if it hits $100,000. I mean, that's such a nice round number. It's going to just be all over everything, the news,
It's
whatever.
going to be FOMO city, and
Yeah, and so I could see it bumping up a little higher, but yeah, like you said, I'm no Plan B. I have not predicted the closing value for Bitcoin the last 2 months on the money, so
no, I
it
haven't
seems
either.
like he's a little bit more savvy to the market than I am. So I'll take his predictions at face
Absolutely.
value.
Also in news, and I'm not sure that this is the total reason why Bitcoin started to pump again. October obviously was better than, well, we won't even talk about that other month, except it is my birth month, so it has that for it. But this the Federal Reserve, the Fed, came out this week and it said we're not going to go after crypto. This is right after China announces they're going to do everything they can to obliterate cryptocurrency, Bitcoin miners. They're trying to sweep the floor clean, and in all this tension, the Fed steps in and says, you know what, we're going to leave it alone, which is, I mean, good news for the crypto world.
Yeah, I think this is huge. I didn't really ever think that the US was ever going to ban crypto or anything like that.
No, not
I'm
at all.
actually hoping that we get our ducks in a row. I mean, regulation's coming. They're not going to just totally leave crypto to be the Wild West. They need
No,
to have some oversight and regulation here. But I think once that's in place, I think the US has been lagging in terms of like what projects we have access to.
right.
You have Binance.us versus Binance.com. It's a totally different world. There's
Yeah,
so many projects that we are handicapped of being able to get into, and I would love to be able to, even if it takes a little bit of regulation, to open up those doors and let us have access to all the same projects that the rest of the world does.
yeah. It seems like we're in an unfair playing field, and a lot of the innovation is coming from the U.S. Not all of it, but a lot of it is based right here in the United States, and so it would seem palpable and even just to spread some of that availability out in the exchanges here in the U.S.
Yeah, VPNs, but
Yeah,
I got a cough over here, so
I do too. COVID. Don't say that word. This was big news. We set out a quick video in the middle of the week regarding this, but Dapper Labs is now it's it's got Dr. Seuss, it's got the UFC, it's got NBA Top Shots, it's got the NBA, and now it's bringing into its stable the NFL, which is massive for Dapper Labs, but also for Flow. Flow, it runs on the Flow blockchain. It actually Dapper Labs actually started on ETH, but again the gas, the speed, Flow just decimates ETH in this regard, and so Dapper moved their projects over to the Flow blockchain. A huge pickup for Flow, but also for the NFL, but even bigger than that for the entire crypto space. This is just a huge, massive kind of runway ramp onto crypto, and there's a lot of articles out there today talking about just even um, fantasy football and segueing into kind of these NFTs. And I, I'm I I believe this is one of the things that's really going to help adoption overall, particularly in the U.S. NFL. Fantasy football is massive. Um, it's maybe you could speak to that because you're really in the fantasy football space.
Yeah, I maybe don't want to so proudly claim that with how my teams have performed so far this season. But yeah, no, I think you're on the money. A few other comments on that when I was digging around on some of this. Dapper is now going to be the second largest source of digital licensing revenue for the NFL Players Association.
Wow.
So that's second to number one is Madden, the video game. So this is a huge deal for the NFL, especially the players. This is a big source of money for them.
Yeah.
They're expecting to launch the kind of these top shot, or if you will, moments similar to that before the 22 season. And Dapper Labs has now gotten $620 million in funding in 2021 alone.
Yeah.
They just keep
They're
getting.
pushing it.
Yeah, they're absolutely just murdering the scene. They're up to some awesome things. And they also just this week announced a partnership with Google. Dapper, Flow, and Google are kind of partnering to help provide some solutions on Web3 and things like that. So it's one of the things I love about crypto and blockchain technology is how flexible it can be and how creative you can be with it. And you can kind of adapt it to an infinite number of purposes. And NFTs is one of the most intriguing spaces for sure.
No, NFTs they're here to stay, and I think their use case is just going to grow and grow and grow, and we're going to find that we all have NFT wallets for a variety of things. I'm super excited about where this is headed. Let's jump over to the next one.
Yeah, speaking of NFTs, so Christie's just had an auction on Friday, and there's kind of three notable pieces related to NFT slash crypto there. So the first one was Gary V's V Friends NFT collection. He kind of did these hand drawn doodle sketches, and then he actually partnered with PSA, which is like a card certification and grading company, to authenticate that he did these and graded them. And so these sold, there's 5 doodles. They're not the actual NFT itself, but they're doodles of the NFT. They sold for $1.25 million across the 5 of them. So they ranged anywhere from a mere $160,000 to the 412 for, I think it was the empathetic elephant, maybe. Don't quote me on that one, but
maybe he won't have to do rummage sailing anymore, so he can.
He loves it. But anyway, so huge win for Gary, huge win for V Friends. That was really exciting. The other piece of Christie's that was super exciting was Curio cards. There's a really interesting story there, but there are 30 Curio cards plus an error card sold for 393 ETH. And it's probably not in this story necessarily. You guys can go search it on yourself, but $1.3 million for this sale. Was insane. What the co-founder of Ethereum, one of them, I think, is actually the guy who ended up buying the collection. And this marked the first time that Christie's has kind of conducted an auction entirely in ETH. That's how the bids were placed. It was not in US dollars. You couldn't place it in US dollars. It was only in ETH. And that kind of just really shows crypto's coming, NFTs are coming. It's just changing the world. Christie is one of the most respected auction houses in the world, is now conducting auctions entirely in cryptocurrency, just solidifying the use case, and the prices these things are fetching show that NFTs are here to stay.
Amazing. That's so good. Well, really, probably the most important thing we're going to talk about today, we should probably touch next. I can't think of anything more important than what we're going to look at next.
No, this is so sad.
So we have this contest, a weekly contest, and what we're going to do is we're starting with $100, and we're going to invest in a new project each week, kind of, and we're going head to head to kind of see how we pick against one another. And serendipitously, this week I chose Flow, and you pick some lesser project. I can't even remember the name.
Okay, let's not talk about Radium like that. It's disrespectful to the project, and I didn't know you had insider information about what was coming in terms of NFL partnerships.
Oh, well, I didn't actually have that in hand right away.
Okay, so it was luck then, is what you're saying.
I wouldn't go that far either. But let's look at the returns. In 1 week, we find Flow, and again, we did have the news of the NFL partnerships with Dapper Labs, 15.4% return in 1 week, and Radium, and actually I am an investor in Radium, to be totally transparent, and Flow, and 12% with Radium for the win.
Yeah, crown. You get the crown this week. Don't let it get cut too comfortable. It's coming back my way for week 2 and most of the weeks from here on.
Well, that's yet to be seen, I guess. I guess the last thing we have to announce, and this is a project that we're going to undertake, and we're going to put real money in. We're each going to put $500 in, and this is our take $1,000 to $1 million. I've been investing in crypto for basically since, we'll say, April 2020 is about when I got involved in the space. So again, I haven't been here a long time. I'm learning every day. I have been drinking from this font that is cryptocurrency. What I found is that I'm kind of, maybe we'll say ADHD a little bit with my portfolio. I had some discipline at one point, but there's so many amazing things happening in the space, and you want to be part of all of it. But what I think is happening is that I'm diversifying so much that I'm not getting the multiplication that I think I could. It takes 10 doubles in order to take $1,000 to $1 million. So 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000, 16, 32, 64, 112. Is that right? 112 plus 8, 120. I can't even do math. And yeah. 2 more, and you're just over $1 million. 10 doubles in crypto to double your money. If we go back to the bubbles, Axie, in 1 week you could have doubled.
In a week, yeah.
You only need 10 of those. 10 weeks, like
how hard can it be? It can't be that hard.
We're gonna find out, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
so we're gonna start this week. We'll start an account. We're gonna have to start a joint account. Some I guess we're getting married at some level, and we haven't picked. I'm in another city again, and so we haven't had time to really sit together and pick what we're going to start in. But we're gonna have this so that you all can follow along with what we're doing. We're going to start with $1,000. We're going to double it, and then we're going to evaluate: do we move the $2,000 to a new project, or do we keep it where it is? And where once it gets over 500,000, that's where it's going to be.
You're going to need some cojones to put 500K into one project and hold that puppy till she doubles. And You know what? I'm here for it. I'm committed. This is for the channel. When we get that far, when this 6-month bull market ends, we'll have $1 million in the account, and I think along the way, I'm sure we'll be able to fund quite a few giveaways for the channel and the community. I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. But I guess that's about it for today.
Oh, we got. Let's hold on. I need a week 2 win.
Oh, that's right.
We need a pick, and because you won, which you have so graciously rubbed in my face all day long, I think you should go first.
Okay, I will. I've just got to scan my list here. I'm actually going to go a little degent today, and here's a coin, and I've got some pretty good reasons, and maybe what I'll do is I will release another 3-4 minute video during the week to kind of flesh this out a little bit. But I'm going to go with Floki.
Okay.
Floki.
All right. Let me Floki Inu.
Floki Inu.
All right. The price at the time of recording is 0.00006074 cents.
Nice.
So we got that one on the books. I am not going to quite go as degenerate as a dog coin, but we're going to keep it in the animal family here.
Okay.
So
Animals.
yeah, I'm going to go with Orca. So
okay.
Orca is a project on Solana. It's in the Solana ecosystem. I'm running off the Solana narrative. Solana's been pumping. Again, it's up about 25%. It looks like it's going to go try and retest all-time highs. I expect some of those gains and some of that momentum and some of just that buzz around Solana to make its way into the ecosystem.
Absolutely.
And so Orca is a DeFi project. They have seen, I think it's like a $700 million increase to their basically total value locked since September 21st.
Wow.
So it is the second fastest growing DeFi project in terms of total value locked on Solana, second to Sunny. Did think about going Sunny, but that one felt a little bit too dirty for me. Orca just raised $18 million in a Series A funding round, one of them being 3 Arrows Capital, one of the most notable crypto investors in the space. So I'm going with that one. We're 10%, I think, off of all-time highs. And so my price, we're going to lock it in, is $17.09.
Nice. Yeah, I've got lots of really good intel on Floki, but I'm gonna hold it and I'm gonna spill it out later in the week. But I have really good feelings about Floki. There's a lot of big names behind it, and they're pouring a whole lot of money into advertising right now, and they started October 1st. So since October 1st, we've seen some good movement.
I like it. I already feel duped by some insider trading, and I already don't like it. So, but you know what? And even Orca finds a nut every once in a while. Is that? Can this work? No, I don't think so. Maybe a seal. A blind orca finds a seal every now and then. But,
oh my goodness!
Alrighty.
Well, that's it for today. Like, subscribe,
comment
would be awesome.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Take
Be
care.
blessed. All right.